This week we talked about the very first words in the Holy Bible. In the beginning. We learned about God creating all the heavens and the earth, but we wrapped with a particular story that you've probably heard once or 100 times. The creation and the eventual fall of man. I'm Zach Schaefer, and this is Fill in the Blanks. God created humans, Adam and Eve, and he gave them the Garden of Eden so that they could live in harmony with him. But he only gave them one rule: don't eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And if you don't know the story, here's what happens next. Eve was tempted by the serpent, and he asked a question that many of us hear a lot. Did God actually ... Did God actually say, "You shall not eat of any tree in the garden"? And Eve corrects him, and the serpent responds, "You won't die, you'll just know good and evil like God." So the woman eats of the fruit after being deceived, and then gives the fruit to the husband, Adam. And they both, after eating the fruit, realize good and evil. They live in their shame and they go and hide, and this gives birth to sin in the world. So now that they've sinned, God cannot be in their presence because he is holy and they're no longer holy. So he sends them out from the garden, and this is where we pick up today in Genesis 4. In Genesis 4, they're now living outside of the garden, and Adam and Eve have two sons. Now we don't know if they have any more kids, we just know about these two sons. One's named Cain, the older brother, and Abel, the younger brother. Now Cain was a farmer of sorts, and Abel was a shepherd. Now both of them would offer sacrifices to God. They would give part of their yield to God in worship of him. Now, here's the thing. Cain would give his worst. Cain would not give his best. Abel, on the other hand, would give his best. So God looked favorably on Abel, and Cain got mad. Why would Cain get mad? Cain's not doing his best, but Abel is. God notices Cain's frustration and tells Cain that sin is crouching at the door, waiting for him to fall. That happened. Cain and Abel were out in the field, and Cain, we don't know if he took a rock or he just punched him or whatever. He knocked him out. He killed his little brother. And God said, "You're cursed." Now here's something to note about this passage here. Same thing to note from the passage we talked about this week in Genesis 1 through 3. The immediate punishment for this sin should have been death. But Cain is shown mercy. He's cursed. He will live out the rest of his days not being able to yield from the ground when he tries to farm. It's going to be a struggle for the rest of his days, but his punishment should have been death. But it wasn't. He got to live out the rest of his days. So to fill in the blanks, Cain deserved death, just like Adam and Eve deserved death, but instead he was shown mercy. And to fill in the blanks, we're going to be talking more about God showing mercy on a people that don't deserve it. And that all comes from the little brother, Seth.